All right, so first I'm gonna tell you how I got the job. We're gonna answer some of these questions from the stuff that I posted on the interwebs. And then we're gonna tell you how it went and why I no longer have the job. So first, obviously, I was looking for a job. How else do you get one? I was on the internet, I was watching stuff, and then I decided, hey, I need a job. So I went on Indeed, I saw the job posted, I applied for it. Pretty simple process. I got a phone call at about 5:55, 5 minutes before this store closes. It was like, hey, come in for an interview on such and such date. It was like 3 days away. So watched the Super Bowl. Patriots won the Super Bowl. It was a great time. Next day, I had a job interview. I go outside my apartment to start the car in the negative 10-degree weather it was in. And after about 10 minutes of the car eventually started. We get to the pawn shop and go in for the interview. I interview with the store manager and the HR lady. I'm not sure what you would actually call her, but that's what she did. I'm not sure what her actual title was. So we go in there, we go to this interview, and I'm not gonna lie, it was slightly strange. I felt like nobody in the room had a soul, including myself, which made it even more weird because are we all dead? And then the interview seemed to go fine. I went down the street to my aunt's house because she lives like 5 minutes away. And I get a call after being there 10 minutes to come back because Les, who owns the place, if you didn't know, which I'm not really sure how you don't know, he wanted to speak with me directly. I come back, have a conversation with him. I'm not sure what you expect when you see him on TV. For me, he was taller than he looked on TV. So that was that. We had an interview, and it's very. He had on the white sweater, the black jacket, the gold chain. Is exactly what you saw on television. He literally does that. That's what he wears. This is not just. It started to be just for TV, and then he just did it every day after that. We go to the same interview room. We have a conversation. It was pretty simple, squared away. I have experience in this industry as I was a manager at another pawn shop, and that's a story we'll save for another time for reasons. I can't say what reasons. It's not legal reasons. It's not necessarily life or death reasons, but for reasons. So I get the job. I come to work the next week, and this is where it all begins. So obviously the TV show at this point has been done for many years. This actually all happened last year. So the TV show has been done for many years, but they still sell the merchandise and stuff. You can go in there and buy some if you want. So yeah, before I get into any more personal details, I'm gonna answer some of these questions first. Now, for those of you who have seen a Q&A on YouTube, Facebook, whatever, you know how they make the questions pop up and you can read. Look, we ain't finna do all that shit. I'm finna read some names, probably some ghetto ass usernames, and read the questions and I'm gonna answer it because nobody got time for that. Also, for where it applies, I'm gonna answer certain questions about both pawn shops, so work that, because some questions need both perspectives. The first question is from Beige Butthead. Wild choice for a username. What is the coolest thing you've seen come into the pawn shop? All right, so like obviously you see a lot of things, everything from comic books to televisions and video games to bodily fluids, occasionally insane people, sports memorabilia. You get like Tom Brady autographed helmets. Somebody, just hands you a leg from time to time. It didn't happen to me, but I've seen it happen. Honestly, the coolest thing you will ever see is when people bring in stuff you don't expect anybody to pawn. The amount of cars that people bring to pawn shops is amazing. But me being me, the coolest thing I've seen is a hot dog stand, hot dog cart stand, whatever. It's a hot dog stand on wheels, so a hot dog cart. It's like a whole vehicle made for hot dogs. It got grills and stuff. It was amazing. Not sure if that was the coolest thing or it just explains to you how fat I am on the inside. Next question is from a person whose name I'm about to pronounce incorrectly, Isidro Maldonado. I probably said that right. I probably didn't. I got too confident. What is the funniest thing that someone tried to pawn? Their kids. Because people say that like it's a joke and then you laugh and then they're like, no, seriously, take this little demon spawn away from me. No, man, I've seen some funny things. At this one, I saw The funniest thing is when people bring in something they bought for their kids when their kids piss them off and it's very angry. That's probably the funniest thing. Okay, actually the funniest thing is when something jewelry related or glasses or whatever it is, when somebody wants to pawn something or a purse, something that's name brand designer, when they want to pawn it and they want this amount of money and it's not even real, that's usually the funniest thing because the response is usually very, very aggressive. And it's like, hey, you bought this, not me. I didn't do this to you. I told you the truth. I didn't lie to you. You mad at the wrong person right now. I understand you want $1,500 for these glasses you paid $4,500 for that ain't worth $40. Look, I understand, but it's not my fault. I know you paid $5,000 for this ring that came out of a bubble gum machine. I'm sorry, I can't help you with that. Right, next question is from Don Tron. How often was the owner actually there? How many times did you have to throw folks out? I'm gonna skip to the second one. I wasn't throwing anybody out. Let me be very clear. That happens probably 2 to 3 times a week where it just goes that way where you have to. Sometimes it's funnier than others, but one specific one was a guy who brought in a ridiculously large TV. I think it was like a 70 or 80 inch television, brand new in a box, which anytime you bring something brand new to a pawn shop, you are automatically the most suspicious person within a 5-mile radius because why are you bringing this brand new thing to this pawn shop that you bought and did not open? He brings this TV in. He was mad that there was a line. He gets to the front of the line. We tell him, I mean, we can take it, but we need to open the box to, check the TV, make sure it works, blah, 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 because, anything can be anything. He was very upset about this, went back and forth for about 15, 20 minutes and said, okay, fine, go ahead, open the box. I got better TV than anybody else in this line, blah, 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 only to open this box and to realize he did not have a TV. He had a shell of a TV and a dirty remote and a power cord with some dirt. Somebody fixed up a TV with styrofoam around it, put it in the box, and gave it to him for however much he paid for it. Either he knew about this and he was trying to be slick, but I don't see why you embarrass yourself in front of everybody, or he might have murdered somebody later that day because that TV was about $4,000 if it was the actual TV. I'm not sure how much he paid, but somebody probably died. I say about 70% of the time somebody brings in something that's not real, they usually end up having to be escorted out because they're not leaving on their own 2 feet. For some reason, like I said, it's not my fault. You paid $800 for this ring that I could have made for you for $50. I'm just saying. And as far as the owners being there, they're there pretty much every day. It's very rare that they don't come. They're pretty much every day. Next, we got TC Mystic. Did you steal anything? I did not. A lot of people did, and a lot of stuff. It happened more frequent than I was comfortable with. Not like it happened every single day. It just happened more than I was comfortable with. But yeah, I didn't do it personally. Young boy, how did you deal with Karens? It's 2 different perspectives here. So at this pawn shop, where, everything is hardcore, I mean, generally I just let them yell at me. And then I'm like, okay, can I help? Who's next? Because here's the thing. People have to understand when you're dealing with somebody who's supposed to be helping you, if they can't help you, yelling at them doesn't make them help you anymore. It doesn't really do anything. It just makes you yell. You put on the spectacle. And then at this point, the TV show has been done for about 6 years. There's no cameras even filming you for you to be famous. Bro, just go home. Be mad at home. Nobody cares. It's pretty similar to what you've seen on TV where they will be talking to the person and the person starts escalating and then they're just like, okay, because I mean, what do you want me to do? What am I supposed to do? You want to fight? You want to throw hands? You want to take this to the parking lot? I am on the clock and I just work here. It's not even that serious. The other perspective was from the first pawn shop, which is like, all right, I lied. It's the same thing. We just sat there and got yelled at and I was like, okay, are you done? Because I go to lunch in like 10 minutes. I'm gonna need you to wrap this up. Alfredo Gomez. Was this when the show was shooting? It was not when the show was shooting. However, I can tell you pretty much that The show was, I mean, it was what you saw, what it was pretty much. There's not much else I can tell you. People bring things in, things happen, situations go all different kind of ways. That's pretty much that's the life of working at a pawn shop. Now, of course, occasionally people go to the extreme because they know they're on television, but other times it's like, yo, people out here peopling. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Next question is from Harry Helms. What was it like working at the pawn shop? Were the people that crazy? Yes. That's kind of the short answer. Not every single person who walks in there, probably 95% of the people, 80, a good percentage of people were not crazy. Even the people who were good and decent with you, they were still a little bit like, oh, okay, like we good. Like, but I can see you like blowing up a fire hydrant with a firecracker. I can just see the crazy in some people. And the next question is from Chris Hayes. Did you ever see any fights break out? And what was the wildest thing you saw working there? I didn't see any fights break out, but apparently some happened from outside usually. I didn't see anything happen inside. I didn't see anything happen outside because we didn't really get to see outside. I don't know if you noticed, but there's not a lot of windows in there. There's like the big windows on the wall that are very far away, and all you can really see is the parking lot. So I didn't see a lot of outside. The wildest thing I remember seeing there was one of the employees who you will know because he's from the TV show. It's not one of the owners, but it's one of the people who made the show what the show was. He was helping, I believe he was helping the customer, then he just passed out. Like everybody, it was a very busy day. It's full of people, the line is out the door, and he passed out in the middle of the floor. Everybody went nuts. People started running over there. People started jumping over shit. 911 got called. It was very, very just chaotic for about a good 5 to 10 minutes. But the ambulance came, everything went back to normal. He's fine. But for those 5 to 10 minutes, that was the wildest shit in the world because we didn't know if he had a heart attack. Did he just die? We don't know. Last question is from Kiddu. Look, man, I didn't graduate high school. Okay, I got a GED, aka good enough diploma. I ain't the smartest man in the world. I can't pronounce things. His questions were most expensive pawns and weirdest pawns. Most expensive one, I believe I don't remember. I'm gonna be honest with you. I remember from the other place I worked at, the most expensive one I saw was $100,000, and that probably wasn't the highest one. And from this one, I don't remember. I know it was at least 5 digits though, because the amount of stuff, the construction equipment, all the vehicles, the people with the ridiculous amounts of jewelry. I will say the weirdest thing I've seen on so many levels was this SpongeBob piece. So yeah, working there was an experience. I saw all kinds of weird things, from a garbage can full of tools to very expensive cars, expensive jewelry. But that SpongeBob I just showed you is like solid gold with all those colored stones. Those are all diamonds. The thing is like $25,000. People will wear anything. Yeah, a lot of stuff. You know, sold a few Rolexes here and there, some all kinds of jewelry. I did my job. I just did it extremely poorly, which is why I didn't get to last very long. So through all of the employee situations where I got along great with the employees, you know, we made it work. But like I said, when you're a manager, you're in the middle. Either the employees like you or the people who own the company like you. It's usually never both. And as far as the people above me, I just did a shitty job. It's all my fault. I'm very fucking incompetent and I'm an idiot. So it all comes down to one final moment, my 587th moment of incompetency, where a new employee is hired. Her first day, someone else sells a TV, and they put a sign on it because that person doesn't have a big enough car to take the TV home. They're going to come back the next day. The next day, the guy comes in, calls her by name, says, I'm here to pick up my TV that I purchased yesterday. She wasn't the one who sold the TV. She didn't see the person sell the TV. She didn't check for proof of purchase. She didn't ask for identification. She didn't even ask anybody else any questions. She just went and grabbed the TV, put it on the cart, and gave it to him. So the guy took the TV. The person with the receipt who bought the TV comes in the next day. Not the next day, the same day, later that day to pick up his TV. And that's when I realized I have a problem because somebody comes up to me telling me they're looking for this TV and they can't find it. I go to the store manager And I'm like, hey, we got a situation. And obviously this is all my fucking fault because how the fuck did I let this happen? Not really sure. So he goes to the back, finds him a different TV, replaces it. Customer is happy. He got a 60-inch TV. He didn't care what kind of TV. He just wanted a big enough TV. The next week, the owner comes back in, and everybody has their own theory of what happened. Leave a comment down below. Do you think the girl who worked there was in on it? Do you think the two dudes were both in on it? Do you think everybody was in on it together? I'm not really sure. Don't really care either. Then the owner comes in and we go over this scenario, and his final question was, who authorized to give the person with the receipt another TV? I said, well, the store manager did. And he didn't deny it or confirm it. He gave like a head gesture because I didn't hear any noise come out. And I guess the head gesture was, no, he didn't. And I did. So I was told to go home. And before I leave, I get told about, not by Les, but by the store manager, about how I threw him under the fucking bus, which would be, it's kind of an admission of guilt when you think about it. I threw him under the bus and I'm fucking this and fucking that and learn what the fuck I'm doing and how to run the fucking store. It was just so many fucks. Too many fucks for it to be 3 men talking and no women around and none of us to be gay. It just didn't make sense. So I take my shirt off. I go grab my Kraft mac and cheese out the refrigerator. I was going to eat for lunch because I'm trash. Say goodbye to everybody and go home. That's how it ended, and everything in between was just all, it was just stuff happening left and right. Any questions, comments, concerns, you can leave them in the comments. I'm going to end on this note. Les is the person you see on TV. If you think he's the coolest person or an asshole, whichever one you think, that you're accurate because it's pretty similar to what you see on TV. Seth, however, is extremely quiet and one of the nicest people in the world. It's hard to be an asshole when you don't say much. Ashley does not work there anymore, so no comment there. And obviously, I'm a fucking idiot. So, good day. Actually, I have another video about the time a person, allegedly tried to make me get them pregnant, but it wasn't gonna be my baby. That also happened here. Doesn't really have much to do with the store, but it happened here. And my best friend, I met my best friend here, She needs help and a therapist and a psychiatrist and Jesus. Her sister is fine. All right, bye. I missed one question. Boondock God, was the pay good? That's debatable. Very debatable. For me, the $12.50 I was getting paid was not enough at all. That's the end of the video song. All right, bye.